It's time to get ready for August in our altered book. As always, I will introduce my new set of freebies as well as background pages and the optional improved style for the monthlies, weeklies, and trackers. And lastly, some ephemera in case you want to use this kit for your junk journal. Also, I have 3 sets of brand new wallpapers to go with this theme. I really went all out on this one. And I even have a book review for you. So we've got a lot to do. Let's get started. Hi, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. Thank you so much for joining me. So let me introduce the new kit. It is called Savannah. Some of you had suggested some like desert themes when I asked you in my last July Plan With Me video what you would like for this month's theme. So I kind of went with that and I just added the animals to it in the savannah. So I hope you will enjoy this kit as much as I did creating this. So let me first show you, as always, the background pages, which you don't necessarily need for this altered book for the planning, but it depends on which style you use. If you're going to be using the freebies, then these background pages are great to add the freebies onto. But of course, there's, as always now, the option of using these that are already printed on the background. So I'll show you those later. So let me just show you the vibe of the kit. So I only printed these half size because I'm not going to be using them today. And we have, I should know how many I have, right? I think I have 8 more busy background pages and I have, I believe, 6 more plain pages in case you want to print them on the back sides if you're going to be using these as a journal kit so that you have more options. So these are the more plain ones now. So if you use these on the back sides, you've got plenty of space to do your own thing. I'm really loving these. So that's all the background pages. Now for the freebies, I have to say a huge thank you to Maureen, and I will link to her channel below. Maureen is fabulous with digitals and she helped me make this month's digitals a lot more professional than I used to have them. So if you remember the July ones, maybe I will show you here just so that you see it. For example, when I take a look at these, you always see this little white edge here. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's there. It's not totally professional. And with these here, I don't have that anymore. So I think it looks a lot more professional. Thank you again, sweetie, so much for your help on this. I think this really upgraded my papers a lot. And also the freebies now have a little bit of a different look with a different font. So obviously this is your month for August. So you see you have this line face in the background. Then we have our 2 trackers. There's the 10,000 step tracker. There's your generic habit tracker. And then we have 3 pages of weeklies. So this is 1. Love this balloon. I think it's super cute. This is 2, and this is 3, going all the way up to September 5th. And now these are the ones that I will be using. So we have all the elements already printed onto the background, which saves you time and glue and bulk in your journal. So the 10K step tracker is the one I will be using. So you see here, no white border. Yay! Then we have the monthly, which looks like this. I love this as well. This is one of the phone wallpapers you can get. I think I have 6 different sets, and each set has 3 different wallpapers. I just love switching my wallpaper on my phone. As with everything, I get bored of one thing easily, so I like switching them up. And I've been doing that forever, so I thought it's time to share these with you. So this is the first weekly. Again, I love this hot air balloon. It is so cute. Then this is week 2. Week 3. And maybe you have noticed when you look at these more closely that most of these have some junk journaling elements in them. For example, here some tickets. And on this one we have some doilies and papers, another doily here. So I try to, on most of these, incorporate some elements here. There's some paper, some sewing even here. So I just thought that would kind of make the theme more junk journal-y. Here, some elements in the background. So that's week 5. Then we have our notes. So again, like last month, we have 9 different notes. Printed light enough so that you can write over them easily. These are all of our labels for August. Then we have 3 pages of clip art, so plenty to choose from. And maybe you notice these are fairly large, the images. I did that so they can easily be used in a junk journal as well. If you need them to be smaller, then you do what I did. As you can see here, I have them smaller, and all I did was I printed these at 80%. So if we compare, here's the 100%, here's the 80%. So there is quite a difference, and you could make them even smaller if you want. So in your print settings, you just scale it to 80% or how many percent you want. It is that easy. So we have these. Then we have these animal heads. Look, this guy, he's so cute. He has such a cute expression. And then we have these full animals. And lastly, we have an ephemera set of 3 pages. So we have smaller tags. And we have 2 blank ones for you to make your own collage on. So you could cut these out and then add some of the elements here and just make your own collages. Like put him there, add some scraps in the backgrounds, and you have a beautiful, unique tag that you have made on your own. Then we have larger tags. We have 6 of them. 4 are already collaged for you, and 2 here are for you to collage. They have just a little bit of decoration so that there's no fear of a blank tag. And then there's this cute vase here with the cotton inside. And finally, we have various ephemera. So we have 2 corner tuck spots. We have 2, what are these called? I forgot what these are called, but you know what they are. We have 2 strips here that can be used as belly bands, and we have some random shapes here that you can use for collaging. So I hope you like the vibe of this kit. I love it. It's such a contrast to this bright and fun one we had for July. Let me show you how I decorated the rest of July. So this is the one we've done together. And then this was the week 2. I did this off camera. So I just added these 2 up here because I didn't want to cover up these 2 cuties. Added a flower here and added a coral down here. Did I add anything here? Yeah, I actually added a fish down here, I think, after the video. Next week, I added this little crab and this I kept saying sea stars, right? But of course they're called starfish, and I knew that. But when you're filming, sometimes your brain just goes out the window. It's really a phenomenon. You wouldn't know it if you haven't experienced it yourself. So then this is the next page. This one is quite busy because I didn't want to cover up Azrai here, and I don't know, I just felt like I needed to add a whole lot of elements apparently. Then we have this one here, we have two mermaids here, we have a starfish there. I didn't add anything here. And there we are. So I need to do the page for the summary for July, and here will be my welcome page for August. Since I am moving towards the end of my book, I wanted to make sure that I had enough space to accommodate this last month. So I already marked with paper clips where I would have to be tearing the pages. So far in this book, I have torn 10 pages and then always left 2. And here in the back, it will only fit if I only tear 5 pages, so half of the amount. And I think I can afford to do that because this book is still very flat. Actually, it's even collapsed in a bit. So I'm not worried about it becoming a huge gator mouth. So I'm thinking now in retrospect that probably tearing out 8 pages in between might have been the perfect solution, but you don't know that until the end. So unless you really calculate which pages you're gonna be adding and do the math for the whole book, then you're not gonna know. I definitely don't have the patience to do that. So it's always going to be a gamble whether I can fit another whole month or not. If I wouldn't have been able to fit this, I probably would have kept tearing out 10 pages and then just used the rest for collages or some other type of journaling. So that means I'm going to just tear out the 5 pages that I have marked. So I have these 2 pages that I'm leaving. So then I'm tearing out 5 pages. Then I'm going to get rid of as much bulk here in the middle that I can, so that my pages still turn well. And then I will take my glue and glue those 2 where I tore out in the middle together, just on the 3 sides, like I always do. No other glue is necessary. So you've seen this process many times in my videos. If you haven't, you can find the playlist for this book and previous books linked below. So I have these glued together. I'm leaving this page and I'm tearing out 5 again. So I'm gonna keep doing that until I have all my pages torn out. Here's all my torn out pages, not so much this time. And this is what it looks like now that everything is torn out here at the end. You see here, it's a little more dense than here, but I am totally okay with that. So in case you're interested, my book had about 520 pages and I was able to fit in 4 months. So if you tear out 8 pages, you should roughly be able to fit in 4 months, but don't take my word for it. Don't sue me if your book runs out at the half of the last month. So now I want to make the last page, the summary for July. And that one, of course, I want still in the theme of the Azrai and Friends paper to match with the other papers. And for this one, I'm going to take one of my plain ones. So in that set, I had 2 plain ones, this one and this one. And I think I'm going to take this one here with the jellyfish. I was going to say jelly beans. One of you smart ladies had the great idea that I should just use a template for the size that I need these to be cut down instead of measuring each time. That is so true. Such a smart lady. So I'm going to do that with this one. I'm going to cut out 2 of these. Maybe I'll just use this side for the template then and label it template, and then I always know what size I need them to be, at least for this specific book. Thank you for that. So this is my template. Of course, it makes more sense to make one of these right at the beginning of the book and not when you're almost done anyway, but still it will help me for the month of August. So I'm just going to ink around these edges, glue that down, and then we'll figure out how to decorate the rest of the page. So now for the fun part, let's decorate this page. So I have from the July kit from the Azra and Friends, I kept these. Summary July, I'm just gonna center these. Then I have this note card left over, so this is the one I'm going to use for my summary. I'll have to write pretty small. Then I want to add another one of these cute seahorses. And I think I'm gonna go for the yellow. I really like the combination of the yellow and the blue. Maybe something like this. And I do want to add something else on the bottom. Or maybe we can add this up here. And then I want something for down there. I could try this clam. Maybe like this. So this way I have a triangle, so that works nicely. Do I want to add anything else? We have these flowers. Do we want a flower here? Oh yeah, that is cute. Yep, gonna do that. Anything else? Do we want the coral? Yeah, why not? I have it. Why not use it? Still have my triangle here, so yeah, I think that will work. I don't think I'll add any of the mermaids to this one. It's just gonna get too crowded unless we can sit one into the clam. Do we have a sitting one? There's this one and this one. We could do that. That would of course be even more colorful. Yeah, why not? Let's just do that. Still a triangle because we have 3 clusters. Okay, I will ink all these parts up, glue them down, and show you the final result. There it is. Quick and easy, whimsical fun, just how I like it, especially for summer. So this will be our intro page for August, and I want a background that I can do my Hello August thing. So I'm going to take this one here because I'm going to be using this here on the next page, and I'm going to cut it anyway. So I will have this left over, which I can use for my intro page. And now I have this handy template, and I can easily mark where I need to cut it so that they're all the same. I've inked up the edges, and this design is actually so that you could have it either way. And I think I'm actually going to put it in like this to have this here. I think this balances out this better than if everything is on that side, although I will be adding something here. So who knows in the end, but for right now, I like it like this. So I'm going to just glue that on. As always, I am just gluing my edges and not the middle of the paper, because I don't want my pages to get stiff, and there's no point in wasting all that precious art glitter glue. So we have the Hello August here for our intro page. I have already cut it out and inked it. As you know, I always like adding a quote to start off the month. I just Googled the August quotes, so I just searched for literally quotes for August. And I found 2 that I like, but I think I already know which one of the 2 I want to choose. So the first one I thought I was going to use is August is like the Sunday of summer, which I think is really cute. I've never heard that one before. But then I saw another one, which is very short, but I really like it because it has an optimistic feel, and it just said, "Hello August, surprise me." I really like that one. It has such a positive vibe for me. I'm kind of like, I'm open for all the good things you are going to be sending my way in August. So I really like that. So I think that's the one I'm gonna choose. So I already have the Hello August. I just need to write Surprise Me. And maybe you remember for July, I messed up when I wrote it by hand, so I had to cover it up again, and I don't like my handwriting, so I think this being a very short quote, I'm going to stamp the Surprise Me. There's 2 stamp sets that I think will work for this. This one, I don't remember where I got it from. I think it's one of those stamp sets you can get for planners. I really don't remember where. And this one here, as you can see, it's from the little stamp store in the UK. I will link their website. They have subscription boxes for the cutest stamps. I got them for a while, but they are quite pricey. So after a few months, I stopped again. But I love all the stamps I got from them. And this is quite a sweet and whimsical alphabet. So I'm going to try to do it with this one. And look, there's a seahorse and a sand dollar. Maybe I can stamp that somewhere for July. I'll have to have a look at that. So I have my acrylic block and I'm just going to write the Surprise Me. Oh, there's only one R. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this in 2 parts. So we'll do the SERP. And this is definitely gonna turn out wonky, but that's okay. Well, actually, you know what? Before I do this, maybe I should think about how I'm gonna place other elements before I actually stamp it. So this will be like 1 because it's 1 quote. So I want that up here, or do I? Maybe I actually want it more in the middle and then have something on top. I don't know yet. So I have all these fussy cuts. So we have all the objects and we have the animal heads and we have the full animals. Maybe an animal head. I really like this guy. I don't know what they're called, but he actually would be really sweet up here because he's like sitting there and actually like he's saying the quote, right? He has a face that says, "Hello, August, surprise me." Yep, that's an easy choice. And we could also maybe add something down here. I'm not sure if I want that. Yeah, why not? Well, this we can decide afterwards. Let's first put him down. Maybe we want one of these round things behind him. I think they're too small. Or how does that look? He looks like he's got like a sombrero on his head. That's actually cute. That makes him look even more cute. Okay, let's do that. I'm not even going to ink it up, or am I? No, I'm not gonna ink it up. I don't know why, I'm just not feeling it, I guess. So then I can stamp it. You know what? I'm gonna be a chicken and I'm gonna stamp this on another piece of paper because I could so easily mess this up. So I have this sheet left, and of course I'm not gonna need the full width for my monthly, so I can easily stamp it on the side here and still be okay. And that way it will have the same colors. That's great. SERP. Okay, I'm gonna add an exclamation mark, and I think I will go over these with a black pen. That didn't turn out so well, especially this E here. I recently found these fine liners in my local art store. This is a 0.5 and they're called Graphite. They are made in Japan and the company is called www.graphite-marker.com. I am super happy with these. I'm surprised how well they work. Super smooth, super pigmented. Love these. So I'm not going to go over everything, just the parts that are a bit faint. Usually I wouldn't mind because it's a nice distressed look, but it's kind of my cover page, so I kind of want it to really stand out. Okay, now let's make an exclamation mark. Will hopefully work with this font. Oh, this is running out. Great, just as I was praising it. Isn't that typical? I also have the 0.1, so I will finish it with this one. Doing a horrible job with this exclamation mark. Like, how hard is it to make a simple exclamation mark. So I'm going to trim around this, and I will ink this up because my Hello August is inked up as well. Here it is. So if we put it like this, I don't know, it's kind of boring. What if we maybe move some things to a diagonal position? Put him up here, maybe even turn him. That definitely gives it more dynamic. Then do we need something down here? I'm really not sure. He's cute. Actually, I like him because of the color. He has a similar color. We also have this guy in small. They're so cute. He's super cute too. We have a camera. It's a bit small. What if we put the camera with him? Make a little cluster. Yeah, I like that. Then we'd have this one. We could pair it with one of these, but that might just be too much. No, there is too much going on. No. This might work. It's quite calm. Or do we just stick with the first one, the elephant? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do the elephant. And now I'm thinking maybe I should ink them up because both of these are inked up, and that's just kind of weird if some of them are inked and some of them are not. So that's it. I'm loving this, and I really think he looks like he's just sitting there and waiting to be surprised, and he's even got his camera ready for that surprise. I think it's so cute. Moving on, we need to add our monthly and our 10K step tracker. So I'm going to cut these out. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way around. I'll put this one on this page and the tracker on the other one. The cool thing now having this template is that now I can just position it behind the printable to see where I need to cut it so that I can fit the best part in and I can center it better. Oh, this was such a brilliant idea. Thank you again so much for this suggestion. Could you let me know in the comments below if you are someone that uses these trackers, either the 10K tracker or the generic tracker? Maybe I'm the only one using this, and maybe I shouldn't even be offering this every month. I don't know. I really don't know. So please let me know if and how you use them. I had one lady who commented that she prints it out every month. Now, I'm not sure if it was a 10K tracker or the generic tracker. And she ends up using, whoops, that's very wonky. She ends up using hers as a shopping list. So I thought that was a really fun idea. I don't know if that was intentional or whether, you know, she had good intentions to track some habits or to do the 10K, but then didn't get around to it. I don't know. I think that's a pretty creative way of using these lists. Love the neutral colors as always. Oh, so beautiful. I mean, I loved the fun bright colors for July as well, but now as a change, going over again to neutrals is like, I'm breathing. So, and as always, let's just do the first week together as well. So that is this one. Again, I just love the new look of these. The font is different as well, and I just love how this is integrated. If you want to check out Maureen's channel, I said I was going to link that down below. Check out her videos. She has a series of how you can make simple printables in Canva, which is a free web-based software, which is also software I use all the time, like for my thumbnails and a lot of other things. She's currently, I think, on a break. I don't know if she will be by the time this video goes out, but she has already a few episodes on really fun, simple things you can do with Canva for your own journals. Really worth checking out. So, I mean, this is done. This could be a beautiful spread on its own, but we do need to cut it down, unfortunately. My book pages are quite narrow, so I have to cut off quite a bit on the side. So obviously if your book pages are a bit wider, you wouldn't have to cut this much off. But you can still see what it is. I think it still looks very decorative. And with this one as well, I had to cut off just a little bit, some of the flower bits here and just the tiniest bit of the balloon there. That's the thing, you just gotta make these printables work for your needs. Everybody's book is gonna have a different size. You can always also print these at a higher or lower percentage to fit your book or your journal. But even though I had to cut off some bits, I think this page is, or this spread is beautiful. So let's add some space to write our to-dos and our gratitude. So we have 9 to choose here, so that's a lot. Don't think I want anything green. Don't want the same balloon image. Zebra is great, the lion is great. So I just need 2. That one's green. The giraffes are fun. This is fun, and this is too green. So 2 of these. I think I want the giraffes and the lion. Now this is challenging not to cover up too much. One we can put here and one down here, I guess. Then we put the gratitude here and put this week here. And maybe you don't like these harsh lines on the notes. It is a very harsh black line. Then you just cut it off. Now the last thing I want to add here, and I think I'll add it here again, is one of my tabs. So I have them here in this envelope. These are from my shop. I have them both with the months on them or blank, so that you can write your own, or you don't write anything, you just put the tab on there. So in this case, I'm going to add the August one here. So that's what the August one looks like. Now, obviously, this does not fit to our color scheme for August at all, but it does fit to the other tabs. So it's one or the other in this case, and I am fine having it match these. So I'm just going to ink it up. I've just printed these on regular copy paper. I love having these beginning of my month. It makes it so much easier to find my calendar and my tracker, which I use every day. I just want to put it so that it's staggered. And finally, I want to make my book page. So maybe to remind you, to show you in my previous planner. So this was my previous planner. You might remember it if you've been watching this series for a while. And in the front, so I started this one January of this year. Yeah, here my second spread is this one here with the books read. And what I did here is I stamped these books with this stamp set, with this book here. This is from the Your Creative Studio subscription box. This was one of the subscription boxes last year. And I just stamped them on a separate coffee dyed paper, and I glued them on thinking that I was going to read 12 books, which didn't happen. But this book is only for 4 months, and I read 9 books in the 4 months. So I was very happy with that. If you're an avid reader, it might not seem like a lot, but for me, this was great. And every time I read a book, I colored it. And I colored it, I think, per month in a different color. And then I wrote the title of the book here. I gave it a rating out of 5 stars, and I stamped this here. So this is stamped with this clickable alphabet stamp set, which I will link for you below. You can find it at on Amazon. And I added this frame here. It was this one. I will see if I can link these for you. If I find them, I will link them. So I think I will do the same heading. I really like that, but instead of books read, I was thinking I should only put book read, because I only read 1 book, but I still have August to go. So maybe I can read another book and then the books read makes more sense. So I will make the same label. I will print that on a different paper and then stick that on, and then we'll have space for 2 books. So So the plan was, in the beginning of the book, I left this page. Originally, I had left the whole spread, realizing I wasn't reading for 3 months. I knew I wasn't going to need 2 spreads. So I only have this side, and here we made this collage together in one of my previous monthly videos. So I have this strip here left over from the August printables, and this works perfectly for me to stamp the label on. I think it makes more sense to stamp the frame first. I love this stamp set. It has some of the letters doubles that are needed more often, so I can easily print books. But I did come across some words that I couldn't stamp in one, and then it's very challenging to line them up there. And if you don't have a border stamp like this, you can just easily doodle a really fun border yourself. You could either use a ruler if you want it exact, or you just doodle it by hand. I think that would be cute as well. I already saw myself making another collage here because I wouldn't read any books. But I'm so happy I did. Yeah, so in the last episode, I talked to you about not being able to read, and I was in the middle of the book from Robin Hobbs, which was the second of the Farseer fantasy trilogy. And I really enjoyed the first book, but the second book just didn't do it for me. I had the feeling it just kept going in circles and circles, and there was nothing happening. And the main character of the book, Fitzverity, I was always waiting for him to become the hero, which he never did. So that was disappointing, but maybe that's my own fault that I had that expectation. So I can't really say it's the fault of the book. So the book that I have read and very much enjoyed is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by author Taylor Jenkins Reid. And she also has the New York Times bestseller Daisy Jones and the Six, who I've heard so much about. Everybody was raving about this book. So now knowing her style, I might read that one as well because I really enjoyed this. Maybe let me just give you a quick idea of what this book is about. So reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career, Monique listens in fascination. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to leaving show business in the 1980s and, of course, the 7 husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthful ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. As I said, I really enjoyed this book. It has 385 pages, so not a huge book. It was very easy to read, very enjoyable to read. I really like her writing style, so I could really imagine reading another book by her. This is one I can definitely recommend. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. And I'm contemplating whether I should put the Robin Hobbs book in here as DNF, did not finish. I probably should, right? Okay, let me do that. Then I'll add this one, and then I'll leave space for one more. And I'll actually show you which 2 I'm thinking about that I have waiting to be read. So the first one is this one, Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. This one plays in 19th century China, and it's about a girl named Lily. I will let you read the synopsis here if you want to just pause the video. And the second one is this one, The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. And this plays around the First and Second World War. Here again, you can pause to read this if you like. Let me know in the comments if you have read or heard about either of these. They were highly recommended on BookTube a while ago. So I'm definitely going to read both of these, but I'm not sure which one to read first. Maybe I'll do this one first just because it is not as thick as this one, to not demotivate me again so soon. Okay, so I'm just going to make my entries for the 3 books. So I have these 3 stars. I got these locally, so I can't link these. You can obviously hand draw stars as well, but it's obviously always fun. You could also do little hearts instead of the stars, of course. That would be cute as well. So I'm gonna stamp 5 stars and then color in 4.5 of those. Hopefully they will fit. Yes. And I'm gonna use my Tombow marker to color this. And this way we have plenty of room to add more. Maybe I'll even read 2 books. No, I don't think so, but we'll see. This page makes me so happy, and I'm just realizing now here it says comment. I didn't even see that. How perfect. Love this page because it tells me that I'm reading again, which makes me so happy. So it wasn't me, it was the book. So to recap, we have a welcome page for August that I love. This might be my favorite one so far. We have our tracker, we have our monthly. This is where I track my videos that I post. And here's our first weekly. So in the next month, you will see the rest of August, as well as a summary for August. Maybe we'll do that together. I'm not sure yet. And these last pages will remain empty, just like the first ones are empty here. So if you want to see how I covered this book with this fabric and then made these end pages like this, please check out the beginning of the playlist for 2021 for my altered books, which is linked below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much in advance if you're going to purchase any one of my digitals. I appreciate it so, so much. You have no idea. Just to think that my digitals are in your journals, in your books all over the world is just mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. So enjoy working in your book. Prepare for August, and I hope to see you back here next month for the next Plan With Me session. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!